The most technical man in modern Muay Thai, possibly in modern striking in general, Japanese phenom Nadaka Yoshinari. He was the Rajamandern World Series champion, and he's moved across to one championship fighting in smaller gloves. As we can see here, I'm professional mixed martial arts, 13-3 record, George Hardwick, and let's break down his training here at the Iwa Sports Gym, a fantastic looking facility in Japan. Padman padded up there with 2 leg pads, a belly pad, and 2 really thick thigh pads. He's got 4-ounce gloves, hitting in 4-ounce gloves, and here he goes. He's using that jab. Southpaw is Nadaka, jab and teep, really combined well. My first coach from Thailand, he said that the lead leg for a southpaw is kind of like the army, moving out, taking little skirmishes, and the left leg is the king that moves in for the big attack. There's possibly somewhat lost in translation there, but it does sound cool. See how he throws left kick and come back into a right teep. Really good closing the door. A lot of people try and step in on that left kick, and that right teep's really good for it. He has very interesting pad work here. The padman is stood southpaw, so he's going to pad for the jab with that lead hand, and then he's going to pad for the high kick, almost cross-padding it here. Boom. So he's going jab. The interesting thing about this is normally you would stand orthodox and put 2 pads out to pad for a left high kick, but he's padding it with one hand here, and because he's the same stance as Nadaka, Nadaka's going to have to kind of curl it over the shoulder, which makes it a bit more realistic. It's like throwing a left high kick on a southpaw in a real fight. Obviously, the risk of this, if you're the padman, is that you can eat your own knuckles in your face if you miss time tensing it. And I've definitely done that a few times whilst holding Thai pads like this. I generally do it with, a Thai pad with kind of like a soft padding on the back of the knuckles where you have to slip your hand in it with like an oven glove. Right knee fake into the left knee. He's going to go body hook, head hook into left kick. Really good combination, especially for the southpaw. Those 2 right hooks, it's going to steer someone into the path of the left kick. And again, we'll see southpaws do this a lot. Left straight into left knee. And when they finish the left straight or the left elbow, the hand's just in the same position, ready to throw the knee, pivoting off into left kick. Some really nice combinations here. Padman thrown back, but not too committed because he doesn't have his shin pads on. He's not full Matsukasu Gundam style pad work there. Left straight into left kick. Generally, those same side attacks are really good because you don't have to pull back the left straight and then left kick. You can leave that left hand out and then blast the kick in off the same side because you're just ready to keep your distance with that left hand and swing into the kick. Right teep there, almost kind of Thai side kick style. He's throwing his back kick. Generally, when he's doing his back kick, his padman will switch southpaw with him. So it's kick into the open side. Generally works better into the open side than the closed side. Jabs and low kicks off each one, and then resetting his stance before stepping in to the left kick. 1-2s, some faster blitzes of punches. Right hook into back leg kick. Obviously, as someone throws a right hook, we saw Gundapar do this really well against Rukia Anpo. Throwing the right hook. Let's see if we can pause. Some fast blitzer of punches. Throwing the right hook. It's going to shift someone's weight down onto this leg so they can't block the kick. There's some horrendous arrows for you. Their weight's going to be stuck on that leg. Gundapar was just really blasting Rukia Anpo's back leg in their fight. As Rukia Anpo would circle out and his weight would go heavy on his right leg, even though Rukia Anpo was orthodox and that was his back leg, he would just blast that low kick in. I'm sorry if you can hear the bus, that's the 63 flying past the gym. I've got a lot of hours to kill before I hold pads for Zanya. Jab, inside low kick, jab, outside low kick. Nice mixing up. If you've only got one low kick, a lot of people only really throw the low kick off the back leg. It's easy for people to start to turn the knee out in preparation to check. If you're throwing that low kick off both sides, really good. There we see a lot of reloading, a lot of doubling up off the same side, especially off low kick, and then back into stance, and then body kicking off the same side. Generally, you throw something on one side, the opening will come on the same side. Jab to teep, same thing there, as I was mentioned with the left straight to left kick. As you jab, what's really good about this, jab lead teep. See if I can find the right moment to freeze frame. As he throws jab into lead teep, he doesn't have to bring his hand back. He can just leave his hand out as a barrier. There. And then it's ready to swing down into his right kick. Really nice stuff. Fake right knee into the left knee, like a knee fake off the lead side. Lots of blitzing combinations there. He's going right hook into left high kick. That's the same pad setup where he's having to accommodate for the lead shoulder. Takes a lot of practice that. One of my tips, if you're going to hold pad like that, is you got to make your own tension as their kick comes in. do a prolonged which is why a lot of Thai coaches make these noises whilst they're holding pads. It's just because it prolongs the amount of time they're tense rather than trying to go and time that bit of tension for the moment their shot lands. Boom. See how he's throwing his left kick and landing with his knee forward, ready to check any returns. I'm really excited for his fight. There's that jab teep. He doesn't have to bring his jab back and then teep. He can just leave it out. Here's something very cool we're going to see from Nadaka here, and this takes a good relationship between the padman and the guy hitting the pads. Is from this close range, he's not going to say push and then kick. He just decides if the range feels off, the one hitting the pads can just decide to push that shoulder, and the padman knows. He braces up, lets his foot go back into the opposite stance so he can fire that left kick into the open side, and it's a comfortable pad. You need a good relationship with the padman, and you need to have that kind of bond you've built up through a lot of time. You know, a lot of the times someone can hold pads, can hold for a kick, and if it's too close, they'll just throw a knee. Can hold for a punch, and if it's too close, they'll just decide to throw an elbow. And that trains the one hitting the pads, that trains the fighter to recognize what's too close for a kick or what's too close for an elbow, and vice versa. Again, there's that same pad styling. When he pads the body kicks, he'll step back into orthodox to make it a nice, even spread. Really big pads, 2 strap pads, so that you can get a really good spread of the shin across the pads. Here we're going to see some shadow boxing from Nadaka, using his lead leg, generally circling out to the right. Because he's a southpaw, generally fighting orthodox fighter, he generally has this kind of safety leads. You see how as he jabs, he'll take a slight step out to the right, make sure his shoulder touches his chin as he jabs. As he throws that right jab, his shoulder touches his chin for protection, and then he moves across. We'll see he's maybe not throwing as many shots as he did early in his career when he shadow boxes. Masato was making a note of this when Masato went and watched his training, is that, you know, he was in the pretty art Muay Thai mode, you know, scoring points on his opponent early in his career, but he will set and throw hard, and we saw that in his pad work there. A lot more single shots, a lot of setting really hard on a particular right hook or a particular left straight, because he's more for doing damage. He's still got his beautiful Muay Thai techniques, his evasion. A lot of it's a bit reminiscent of Wakao Pisichet back in the day, the way he'll like pull back with his arms almost overhead to make body kicks miss. Very, very tricky. But you see how he shadow boxes? He'll move with his feet a little bit closer together. He's got something in his eye. He'll move with his feet a little bit closer together and then use either a knee feint or a jab to set into a longer stance where he can transfer weight more into his punches. It's kind of like Giorgio Petrosian, but much faster. I've been George Hardwick. Subscribe for more breakdowns. Let me know who I should break down next, and watch this guy's fight soon. Also, I'm fighting September 13th in Newcastle, Cage Warriors 193. Check the link for the tickets.